Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Jason. How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
Yeah, not used to moving around and doing all this stuff this early in the day.
Yeah, got some free time. Might as well get to it. All right.
Absolutely. So what did you think of the NFL this week?
I didn't see all of it because I was on the road, but I always watch the game recaps and stuff on the NFL Network on demand, and there was decent games this week. Like the Giants and the Redskins game was good. I had a good ending. It started off looking like it was going to be a blowout for the Giants, but
Yeah.
Thursday night obviously wasn't very good.
That's what we're going to start with, the Patriots and the Texans.
Yeah, there was a few more games in there that weren't very well. There was a game in there that we thought was very good, but it wasn't a very good game in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get moving if you want.
Yeah, Thursday night we had the Texans and the Patriots. I would have never expected this.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, on the Facebook thing, you forgot to put the link to the show on the post. Yeah, but yeah, that Thursday night game just was brutal, man. The Texans just did not show up.
They laid a fucking egg.
It was bad, like turnovers and just mistakes, penalties, everything. I was thinking, like, to me, the Texans are a playoff team this year. Like, they should be a pretty good team, but they didn't look like it. You know, they added Osweiler, Will Fuller, Lamar Miller. Their defense is their defense, but man, they just look bad.
I didn't like their play calling. It was like super conservative.
Yeah, the game, like everything, like the Patriots look really good. The referees were bad. Remember we were talking like some of the spots and stuff just were not very good. It looked like everyone but the Patriots did not want to be there. Like, the Patriots were the only people who wanted to be there. But
Yeah,
that game...
It was just crazy.
Yeah, like, what was the final? Like, 24-0, right?
27.
Something like 27-0. It just was not a very good game. The Brissett kid looked good. Yeah, I was thinking... Because, you know, they had a third-string quarterback starting for them, the Patriots. I was thinking, with that defense... I couldn't see how the Patriots were really going to put up many points or anything. But he looked good, man, and like Belichick just out-coached O'Brien.
But you notice that always seems to happen with guys that were with New England and they're not anymore.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, sorry, just had to yawn. Yeah, it just, like, it was embarrassing. Like, I guess the best thing they can do is just get the 10 days and put that behind them and move on now that, you know, that game's out of the way.
Yeah, it was just, because they have the talent to be really, really good, the Texans, and they just, like you said, laid an egg.
Absolutely. They have, in my opinion, like, title contender talent right now.
Yes.
But
all right.
It didn't show.
Next, we have another shocking game, the Bills in Arizona.
Ah, man, I did not see Buffalo winning this game. But I guess when, you know, your head coach is probably coaching for his job, a lot of those guys might be playing for a job at this point. I mean, it's hard to say that week 3, but the Bills just have not looked very good at all. And they
cost me my Survivor League.
Yeah, you picked Arizona in your Survivor, and I just couldn't believe that the Bills actually pulled that game out and won it. And it wasn't even like a very close game at all. It was like they outplayed Arizona by a decent amount.
The thing that killed them was Palmer threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah, that'll beat you. Like we were talking about, I think we talked about it last week. We were talking about it last night. So turnovers decide football games, and when your quarterback throws 5 interceptions, you might as well just forget about winning a football game. 4 interceptions actually is what he threw. But
I'm sorry, 4.
yeah, close enough. I mean, 4 or 5. What's the difference? They still, you know.
They still got their ass handed to them.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't a very good game. He was sacked 5 times, threw 4 interceptions.
The only one that had a decent game for him was the Johnson kid.
Yeah, he had the 2 touchdowns, 83 yards rushing. So yeah, so if you had him in fantasy, you won. But Arizona didn't. Yeah, Arizona definitely didn't win. But yeah.
All right, next we have the Raiders against the Titans.
Yeah, this was a surprisingly low-scoring game. I expected like 31-27. And it was only, 17-10 Raiders.
Yeah, it was like a muck fest.
Yeah, it surprised me. Like, the Raiders just kind of, came out and they were up, at one point they were up, 20 or 17-0, right? Or 17-3.
Yes.
They were moving the ball. There was a lot of offense in the game. Like, both teams, almost had 400 yards of total offense. Well, it was 393 to 368 in favor of Tennessee, but once again, 3 Tennessee turnovers did them in. 2 interceptions.
And I think the Raiders solved their secondary issues. They benched Nate Allen and put in Carl Joseph, their first-round pick.
Yeah, Nate Allen, a guy that we're very familiar with. Probably the right thing to do. Just they picked off Mariota twice. Mariota fumbled once on a run. And lost it. Yeah, and lost it. Well, actually fumbled twice. He lost one. And it's just another game where turnovers they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, basically. All right, moving along, we have the Redskins and the Giants.
Oh, this game, I was watching this game for the better part of the first half I watched, and it was like, I thought the Giants were going to blow them out. I thought it was going to be like a big win for the Giants at one point, because it was 14-3, and it looked like the Redskins couldn't do much. I mean, they had 3 field goals early in the game in the first half or whatever. Yeah. Early in the first half. And then it's like the Redskins just turned it on, man. Big touchdown passes, 2 big ones, 44 yards and 55 yards from Cousins to Deshaun Jackson and Jamison Crowder. And then late, it just turned into a field goal fest. And then what was that? Eli threw an interception on the final drive, and
terrible interception.
Yeah, it's what Eli's known for, man. 2 more interceptions on Sunday. Turnovers killed him, and Cousins had a pretty big game after starting a little slow. Ended up with 296 and 2 touchdowns.
I love that play they ran for Crowder with the screen, the long touchdown.
Yeah.
That was a nice play.
Yeah, and they had the one pass play that Way guy ended up throwing like a 30-something yard pass.
Yes.
The Redskins played a good game, man. Their everything worked. Their kicker was 5 for 5, so he had a big day, and they pulled out a good division. Well, in a game that could have really buried them, because they would have been 0-3 if they lost.
And they would have been 0-2 in the division.
Exactly. So they salvaged the game. They, big plays late, and they might have saved their season.
Basically. All right, here's some breaking news in the NFL. The Trent Cole with the Colts has been placed on injured reserve.
That sucks. He's a guy that I like when his time with the Eagles.
Something with a back injury.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, but he's not a spring chicken anymore, at least for football.
No, he's his book on his career is about to close. This might be the end of it.
Right. All right, just wanted to get that in.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Dolphins and the Browns.
I didn't see much of this game, so you might have a better idea of what happened in this one.
Well, a former Eagle lost them the game.
Lost the Browns the game?
Yes.
Oh, it had to be Cody Parkey missing 3 field goals.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
The Browns sacked Tannehill, and he fumbled, and they got the ball, and I think it was maybe a 40, I can't remember the exact range, 40-some yard field goal to win the game, and he hooked it.
Yeah, that's Cody Parkey for you. It
eventually led to them going into overtime and the Dolphins pulling it out.
Yeah, another Tannehill, 3 turnovers in the game. He did have 3 touchdown passes, which is good for him, but the Dolphins, like, their running game was bad on Sunday, and looking at the stats and everything, it was pretty bad, and that surprised me because Cleveland is not a very good defensive team.
No.
Cleveland ran the ball well.
Yeah, with Crowell.
Yeah, they just lost because of that. Because of that, Parkey's missed field goals cost them a game, and then what was it? The Ajayi or whatever his name is,
Ajayi or however you say it.
Yeah, I don't. Ran it in there, about halfway through overtime to win the game.
Yeah, so that was a devastating loss for the Browns. They keep finding ways to lose.
Yeah, they're great at doing that.
All right, next we have the Ravens and the Jaguars.
The Ravens and the Jaguars. Why am I not seeing this game on my Oh, yeah, okay, Baltimore 19-7. Yeah, 19-17. Another rough game. Jaguars again.
Ugly, ugly game.
Yeah, Justin Tucker, though, man, 54-yard field goal to win it for him late. So that was big for them.
He's money.
Yeah, he is. Flacco had a decent day. Flacco didn't have a decent day. Flacco had a terrible day. Two interceptions.
I'm going to say this. The Jaguars play in London this week against the Colts. If they have another bad performance, they should just leave Gus Bradley over there.
And they may. Because he's got to be on his way out, right?
It's ridiculous with the talent they have that they're not performing.
This is his 4th year with them, and they haven't even sniffed being a decent team yet.
Maybe last year towards the end, but then they kind of fell off.
Yeah, they're just not. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a head scratcher because they have the talent. And the Ravens, when you talk about teams that are they're 3-0. You cannot, really tell what they are because they've come from behind and beat Jacksonville. We're getting killed by the Browns and beat them, and then won another close game in week 1.
Yeah, weren't they down 21-0 to the Browns at one point?
Yes.
Something like that, and they came back. Yeah, so they're a team that when adversity's there, they're definitely showing up, which is a good sign later on because when they put it all together, they might. But we'll see.
Exactly. All right, moving on, we have the Packers and the Lions.
The Packers and the Lions. This is a game. This game did not surprise me at all, especially because Aaron Rodgers was coming off of a terrible game last week, and he came out and he showed up on Sunday.
The thing is, I thought they might have turned the gas off or took their foot off the gas a little early.
Yeah, they probably did because Detroit really came back into it. Stafford had a huge day with 385 and 3 touchdown passes. They had Jones Jr., the receiver, Marvin Jones.
Day.
Yeah, 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he's probably the fantasy player of the week right there.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, Detroit, man, they're
Detroit.
Yeah, well, that's all. I guess that's what you say. They're Detroit. They collapse. They find ways to lose games, whether it's early in games or late in games. It's just terrible.
Yes. All right, moving along, we have the Broncos and the Bengals.
This is another game I didn't see a lot of. I know the Broncos won at 29-17, and I know they pretty much were. It was pretty close early, right? And then Denver scored twice late to put it away.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Simeon with another decent game. Where the Broncos are 0-3 or 3-0, right?
Yeah. Jeremy Hill had a big game.
Yeah, Jeremy Hill did have a pretty big game. 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, yeah. But,
And
man,
Denarius Thomas put this game away. I don't know if you saw the highlight. Simeon threw him a deep ball, and he just basically yanked it away from the Bengal defender and shoved him out of his way.
yeah, Simeon, though, man. 312, 4 touchdown passes. So, he had a
Impressive.
huge day.
Very
That's
impressive
good.
against a good Bengals defense.
Yeah, that's good for him, man. He's starting to really show up. And, I mean, Paxton Lynch is obviously their guy, but if Simeon keeps winning, he might be their guy for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good win for them. Good win for Simeon. Broncos defense shows up again. Their offense does what it needs to do to win, and that's how you win football games, and they're doing it. They win the turnover battle almost every week, and, they put the ball in the end zone when they need to with Simeon and Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, all those guys,
Yeah.
So definitely a winner.
I agree. Next, we have the Vikings and the Panthers.
Man, 3-0 Vikings, Sam Bradford. It's
I didn't
surprising.
see this coming.
The Panthers to me are an overrated team. I mean, Newton threw 3 interceptions. Minnesota's defense, I think you even touched on it earlier this year when we were doing this. Minnesota's defense is quietly one of the best in the NFL.
Yes.
They have a really good defense where if they can control the ball, put a few points on the board, they have a really good chance of beating you, and that's what they did to Carolina.
And it's amazing because they really don't have a running game now.
They don't. They have no running game. Jerick McKinnon had 45 yards rushing. Asiata had 15. So they rushed basically for 60 yards. And they actually didn't move the ball well at all offensively because Bradford only threw for 171.
Right.
But they still found a way to win the game. Kyle Rudolph, 70 yards receiving and a touchdown, had a pretty good day.
Yeah, he had a nice touchdown catch.
Yeah, he did. And their defense just showed up, man. You had Terrence Newman with an interception, Johnson with an interception, Waynes with an interception, couple sacks on Newton, I believe. 8 sacks on Newton, actually. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's ugly.
Yeah, their defense had a huge day, and it won them a game. The Griffin dude from Minnesota, Everson Griffin, had 3 sacks.
Wow.
So, there you go.
That'll do you in every time.
Yeah, Minnesota 3-0 though, man. Carolina, what, 1-2?
Yes.
NFC's looking a little different right now.
They're going to have to figure it out because they beat up on a bad 49ers team.
Yeah.
All right, moving along, we have the Rams and the Bucks.
Yeah, this was the Rams coming off of a 9-3 or 9-6 win.
Something like that, yeah.
Decided to go nuts offensively. 37 points. Todd Gurley.
Yeah, I would have never expected it.
Yeah, Gurley with his first big day of the season. Only 85 rushing, but 2 touchdowns, so that helps.
And it's just the Bucks are a mess defensively.
Yeah, they are. They're Mike Evans had a huge day for them, 132 and a touchdown. Winston ended up having a huge day with 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, but they just didn't run the ball very well. Defensively, like you said, they are just not good at all.
No. And that's what's killing them right now.
Yeah, they're a team that is maybe on the brink of falling apart right now if they don't, get something going defensively. Because I think they actually have another big matchup next week. No, they're off next week. Okay. But week 5, they're coming back against Carolina in Carolina on Monday night. 2 1-2 teams. Whoever loses that game could possibly be done.
Yeah?
More so Tampa because I think Carolina has the ability to rip off 5 or 6 wins in a row. I think they're still a really good team.
Yes.
But we'll see.
I agree with you. All right, next we have Seattle and the 49ers.
This was not a game at all. It was, pardon me, 24-3 at the half. Seattle just came out. They scored a real quick touchdown too. Like I looked up and it was 7-0 Seattle. Like seconds into the game.
Yeah, it was 24-3 at the half.
Yeah, Seattle scored 36 seconds into the game.
Wow.
Christian Michael with a 41-yard run, and it just went from there. Seattle just kept pouring it on. So
the only negative about this game is Russell Wilson got hurt.
yeah, he did, and that Boykin dude came in and had a pretty good game in his place, though. But they definitely need Wilson.
Yeah, everything I've read is that he has a MCL sprain.
Okay, so that's not severe. At least it's not a tear. But
he said that he believes if he does like the physical therapy with the team, that he'll be able to play this week, but he'll just have to wear a brace.
Okay, well, so that's good for them. 49ers side of things, Carlos Hyde, 103 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. That's it. They had nothing. Their leading receiver had 35 yards.
We've seen this.
Yep.
I'm waiting for them to go to Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, well, Chip Kelly said Kaepernick's not healthy, so we'll see where that lands. That ends up, but
I figure once he's healthy enough to play, he will play.
He should after Blaine Gabbert's performance on Sunday. So, but we'll see.
It'll be very interesting. All
yep.
Right. Next, we have the Chiefs and the Jets.
Man, Kansas City's defense, I'll tell you. What did they? 6 interceptions by Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, and 8 turnovers overall.
8 turnovers overall. Wait, I think. Wait a second. Yeah, 8 turnovers. Wow. How does that happen? I mean, I loved it. I have Kansas City's defense in my fantasy. I got 35 points, but I just don't get it. Like, how you can turn the ball over 8 times.
It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, it really is.
Like
it really
Ryan
is.
Fitzpatrick turned into the bad Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, and he's not a bad quarterback, but man, I mean, if you're Kansas City at this point, all you have to basically do is just score 1 touchdown or kick a field goal and you win the game because their defense scored. So
yeah, and just don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Which is what they did. They just basically held on to the football and they just won the game. And I mean, it's a big game too because they're missing Jamal Charles and they didn't need him at all.
Yeah, who could potentially be back this week.
Yeah, like they just did not need him this week. There wasn't much to talk about in this game other than Jets with 8 turnovers, Fitzpatrick 6 interceptions, and Kansas City's defense just annihilated them. Like it wasn't a close game at all. It
was just I couldn't believe that many turnovers.
You figure if Kansas City's offense is clicking, this could be like a 45-3 game instead of 24-3.
Yes, I agree with that. All right, moving right along, we have the Colts and the Chargers.
This ended up being a dramatic game at the end. Wasn't a very good game in my opinion, but with 1.5 minutes left, Luck hit T.Y. Hilton for 63 yards to put the game away.
That always helps.
If I remember right,
yeah,
that's what happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Chargers couldn't run the ball for shit at all. Rivers had a good day, no touchdowns, but he had a really good day passing the ball, hit a lot of receivers and stuff, but Chargers just could not run the ball at all.
I know. Like Melvin Gordon, I know, had gimme touchdowns at the 1.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton, huge day, 174 and a touchdown. Of course, that, like I said, that 63-yarder to win the game for them. Just Chargers lose Manti Te'o for the year or 2 in the game.
Yes.
Which is huge. Yeah, they just did not have a very good day, offensively at all. Field goals.
I know, and it's amazing to me. that the Colts have started 0-2 for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You talk about the hot seat. Pagano has to be on it.
Yeah, I think he's definitely on it. If they don't have a pretty good run in the playoffs, if they don't make the playoffs and have a good run, I think he's out of there.
I would agree with that. All right, next we have our game, well, at least from a fan perspective, the Eagles against the Steelers.
Man, the beatdown of the week, which I don't think we saw it coming at all.
I don't think anyone did.
No, I did not see this coming at all. This was the Eagles' defense, which miraculously, I mean, you see what happens when your defense isn't on the field for 40 minutes per game. They make big plays. Carson Wentz, his first career 300-yard passing game, yet to throw an interception in the NFL after 3 weeks. I mean, they carved up a good defense, and they shut down a good offense, which both sides of the ball, the Eagles played as good as you're going to play. I can't think of a mistake that they really made. Maybe a couple of drop passes, but play calling wise, it was like a perfect game. Defensively, a perfect game. They beat the Steelers up. The Eagles front four just annihilated the Steelers offensive line.
It's crazy to me that when they come in here, whether it's the vet or the link, it's like a house of horrors for the Steelers.
Yeah, that's 9 straight games they've lost in Philadelphia.
They haven't won one since the 60s.
Yeah, 64, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Something along those lines. So you got about 50 years straight of losses. I mean, the Eagles, I just go back, the Eagles front four, dude. The Steelers could not run the ball. The Eagles would give them a little cushion. Antonio Brown had 140 yards receiving on 12 catches.
But
so,
they basically said, all right, you could get yours, but everybody else is going to beat us.
Exactly. Like, you know, it's incredible.
I said this. With their front four, if Vinny Curry can get going, they're going to be frightening.
Yeah, I mean, they had 4 sacks on Roethlisberger, and how many other times did they hit him or have him in the grasp or get to him and he got rid of the ball?
He had happy feet.
Yeah. Well, you have to when you're under that kind of pressure, man. They just mean, like
even when they weren't really coming, he was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was sailing balls, and I would have never expected that to happen ever.
No. I mean, can you call it an upset? Sure, but it was. I expected it to be a close game. I thought, you know, the Steelers would kind of pull away later in the game, you know, maybe early 4th, mid-4th, put a touchdown on the board and maybe put it away, or, you know.
They lost like 4 guys to injury in that game.
Yeah, they lost the linebacker Timmons.
Yeah.
And 3 other starters. So, like they were saying, dude, the Eagles beat them up.
And I haven't heard any more news about Timmons.
Me either. I haven't heard anything. I haven't really been looking, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, shocking beatdown.
Yeah, that it was a beatdown. Like they embarrassed Pittsburgh, and whoever Pittsburgh plays next week, I might feel sorry for that team. So
yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yep.
All right, now moving along, we have the Sunday night game with Chris, who's in the chat, his Bears against the Dallas Cowboys.
Another bad game. The Bears are in trouble, dude. They're beat up. They don't have that Urlacher and defense like they used to have. Their secondary's like really bad.
I do like their middle linebacker though.
Which one?
The name's escaping me, but he's a white kid.
Okay.
I just remember watching the game and I'm like, damn, he kept making like play after play after play. Oh, that's who it is, Jarrell Freeman.
I don't think he's white.
Oh, I'm wrong then.
Yeah, I don't think he's right. Yeah, he had 7 tackles, so. 7 solos, 5 assists. So yeah, he's definitely not a white guy.
My bad.
Yeah, he's one of the good parts of their defense. They just like
they had every opportunity to win that game because Dallas kept trying to give them that game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was 17-0 and then 24-3. Yeah, they scored 2 touchdowns, but man, I think the big story coming out of this game is, as Chris said, 2 stories. 1, Langford's down now for a while, and 2, how bad is Des Bryant hurt?
Yeah, you're not hearing really anything about it.
Yeah, because they said he got an MRI yesterday, and now Jerry Jones said today that he did not get an MRI
because he's not hurt that bad.
Yeah, so I don't know what to believe.
You know, because a lot of teams like to put like smoke screens out there.
Yeah, Chris just said the Bears need new ownership. Yeah, that might be it. They also need a rebuild. They need to just tear it down, in my opinion. Like they need to get it. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, I think they're gonna probably be a top 5 pick this year, but could probably get a quarterback.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
I know a guy that I'm friends with, that I went to school with. He's a big Bears fan, and he said the same thing. He wants them to just tank like the Sixers had done for the previous years just to get a good draft pick.
They might end up having to do that.
But yeah, I no disrespect to the Bears, but why in the hell are they on prime time 2 weeks in a row?
That is a good question. I guess maybe the NFL expected them to be better than they are, and maybe without injury they may be a little better. I don't know, but we'll see. Right. But yeah, it wasn't a prime time game. It just, you know.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Now we'll get into last night's game, the shootout with the Falcons and the Saints.
Yeah, that dude, Devontae Freeman had an enormous game last night. Like, he had the game of the night. 200 total yards of offense and a touchdown. And he ran the ball through that Saints defense like it was easy.
The crazy thing to me, dude, is Julio Jones only caught 1 pass.
And they still won the football game by a good margin. Yeah. It was the Devontae Freeman show last night.
Yeah.
Ryan looked good. He executed. He threw the touchdown passes that he needed to throw. Mainly just the one to Freeman.
And actually
he had 2.
Pass.
Yeah, he had 2. Yeah, Freeman and Hardy. Breeze looked pretty good. He had 1 interception he threw last night, but 376 yards and 3 touchdowns. But they just... It was a shootout, but remember early in the game that fumble, that muff punt.
That's what changed the entire game.
Yep. We were talking about it at the time when it happened. The Saints went down and scored a great 5.5-minute possession, kept Atlanta's defense on the field, went right down, scored on a Breeze, hit Fleener for the touchdown. And then they got a quick 3-and-out. And then the muff punt that Atlanta recovered and put in the end zone
changed everything.
Yeah, because it was like, man, maybe New Orleans is going to take this game over quick, because I didn't trust Atlanta's defense to stop them.
Nope.
But it did.
And Fleener breaking out, having a big game.
Yeah, Fleener had a big game last night. He had his coming out with Atlanta.
Yeah, and he might have some more, considering the health of Willie Snead.
Yeah, I said Atlanta. I meant New Orleans. Fleener plays for New Orleans, obviously.
Because I've been reading that Snead might be dealing with a turf toe.
No, he plays on turf, so
yeah.
It would make sense. But yeah, that's not a good receiver injury for a receiver.
No. And that place, the Dome, used to be home field advantage for them, but I think they've won like 2 out of their last like 15 home games.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Yeah, that place is no longer the place it used to be. Well, that Saints team isn't as good as it used to be either. I mean, those stats can be skewed a little bit by the talent on the team, and the Saints don't have that talent anymore. They're not nearly as good as they used to be.
Let's keep it real. Drew Brees wanted his big money, and it made the entire team have to suffer.
Yeah, I can agree with that because when you're paying one guy like 20% of the team's salary, it's rough.
Oh, absolutely. What are you going to do? But let's move on. Oh, do you want to go over how we did this week before we pick for week 4?
I'd rather not, but we will. We both had 9 losses.
Okay.
Here's what we did. We lost Houston and Arizona. We lost the Giants in Carolina. You lost Jacksonville. We lost Tampa. I lost San Diego. We lost the Jets. We lost Pittsburgh. And we lost New Orleans. We both had a total of 9 losses.
Ooh.
And that's coming off of an 8-loss week 2. I did good week 1 with 3 losses, but I don't know what the hell's happened.
Consistently bad now.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet our picks if I was you.
Yeah, if you're a degenerate gambler, I wouldn't trust us.
Yeah, I definitely would not trust us.
All right, let's get started. The Thursday night game for week 4 is the Dolphins and the Bengals.
The Bengals at home. I like Cincinnati.
I do too, because they've come off 2 tough losses to the Steelers in Denver. The elite teams in the league. I think they'll bounce back against Miami.
Yeah, sometimes this week will help you when you need to bounce back with a win. It lets you get right back out on the field. You don't overthink things. You don't overanalyze things. I like Cincinnati. I think they're going to have a pretty good day against Miami's defense. So I'll take the Bengals. You took the Bengals. So there you go.
All right, moving along, we have the first game in the International Series, the Colts and the Jaguars.
Oh, you got this one.
I am going with the Colts.
Yep, me too. I think you might have been on the right path when you said it's possibly new head coach after Sunday for them.
Yeah, if they get blown out or embarrassed, I think Gus Bradley's not coming back.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. I think they're going to lose, and I think that it could be his last day with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I agree. Next, we have the Texans and the Titans.
Ooh, Texans and Titans. I gotta believe Houston is going to win this game.
I feel they'll bounce back because I think their defense will force turnovers and give them short fields.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think it's time for them to have a big day. I coming off of that loss, 10 days, like I said earlier, the short week could be better, but in this case, maybe the long week could help them.
Where they've had to basically sit on it for 10 days.
Yeah, I like Houston running away with this one. Maybe a 2-touchdown win. Defensively, like you said, I think they're going to come back. They'll pressure Mariota a lot. They'll get in his face. He'll turn the ball over a couple of times. Houston wins.
Yeah, I agree. Next, we have the Browns and the Redskins.
The Browns and the Redskins. I like Washington in this, obviously. I can't pick Cleveland to beat anybody right now.
Exactly. I said I think the Browns could give them a game, but I'm not going to pick them to win.
I don't even think they're going to give them a game, to be honest with you. I just can't think of a team I would pick Cleveland to beat right now. Maybe Jacksonville is the only team.
Yeah.
But I think Jacksonville has more stability than Cleveland because at least Jacksonville has a quarterback and
they have good talent.
Yeah. I just can't pick Cleveland to beat anybody right now.
I agree. I take the Redskins. All right. Next, we have Seattle at the Jets.
Wow. Russell Wilson's status up in the air, right?
Yeah, but I've read that he's probably going to play.
I still like their defense to beat Fitzpatrick.
I agree. Seattle's only giving up, I think when I looked at it yesterday, was 13, maybe even less than 13 points a game through the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I got to go with Seattle on this one.
Especially considering how terrible Fitzpatrick was taking care of the ball last week.
Yeah, just, yeah, that's all I could say.
I know exactly what you mean. All right, moving along, we have the Bills at the Patriots.
I'll let you go on this one.
What's the status? Is Garofalo going to play?
I don't know if Garoppolo or Brissett's playing. I don't know. That's the rough thing of picking a game on Tuesday because I don't know who's starting. Personally, I think they beat Buffalo either way.
I was going to say, I got burned before. I'm going to stick with New England, even though Rex Ryan's defenses usually give the Patriots fits.
Sometimes. But we'll see.
Yeah, I have to go with New England.
That's what I have. So far, we're on the same page on all 6 games.
All right. Next, we have Carolina at Atlanta.
This is a tough game for me. Like, it's really tough. Hold on a second here. Actually, the ESPN's giving updates on Dez Bryant. 1 sec.
Hold on, everybody.
Yeah.
Laboring a bit on it. He was called a sprain yesterday. Jerry Jones said today that Dez has not had an MRI as of yet.
Really no update yet on Dez Bryant, so we can move along. Carolina, Atlanta.
Yeah.
man,
Carolina's
like,
playing in the Dome.
Yeah, like I want to believe that they'll ride the momentum of beating New Orleans, and I want to believe that at home, but I'm going with Carolina. I think Carolina ain't going to lose 2 in a row.
I agree with you because I think Carolina might not have the same all-world defense they had last year. Like they're going to give up yards and points this year, but I think they will do enough to win.
Yeah, and I think Atlanta, after they have big wins to start seasons, because
they have letdowns.
Yeah, they tend to take a dump, and I think this is going to be a dump week.
I can agree with that.
All right, so we're all even still, same picks.
All right, next, the Raiders at Baltimore.
This one is rough. This is another tough game because I like the Raiders. Like, I think they're going to be a good team, but Baltimore, man, like, they win games. Like, they know how to win football games, and well, I like that Raiders offense. I'm going with Baltimore.
All right,
just because they're at home.
We're finally going to disagree. I'll go with the Raiders because it seems like their defense might have figured it out last week.
Okay.
And maybe they can cause Flacco and them to make some mistakes because I love their offense.
Yeah, me too. I kind of don't think you can go wrong either way with these picks. I think both of them could win the game. Yeah, I think that I'm just going to take the home team.
I agree. I understand where you're coming from. Moving along, we have the Lions at Chicago.
Ooh, man. It's a rough one again because the Bears are another team right now that I have trouble picking to beat anybody.
Plus, they're terrible at home.
The only team I would pick the Bears, I think, to beat right now may be Cleveland. I just feel like they're going to come out, though. There's got to be some respect, pride.
Yeah.
Like, pride has got to be on the table here. I'm going to roll the dice and take the Bears, man. Like, I'm going to take the Bears to win this game.
I don't trust either team, but I will go with the Lions because I think the Bears have won, like, one game out of their last, like, 10 or 11 at home. They have, like, an abysmal record at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really trust the Lions, but it's just the Bears have shown me nothing that could make me pick them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get you, but I think eventually you have a pride thing, and
oh yeah, I agree. I understand. All right.
So I'm gonna hang in and take the Bears.
Okay. All right. Next we have the Broncos and the Bucks.
I gotta go Denver in this game.
Yeah, I think this could get ugly.
Yeah, I gotta go Denver. I like Simeon. I mean, I think he's playing better every week. I think he played really well this past Sunday. Yeah, he's not hurting them. Their defense definitely ain't hurting them any. I'm going with Denver. I like Denver and Tampa. I just don't think. I mean, the travel thing could be an issue. Playing in that heat could be an issue, but I think they're just a far more talented team, and they execute.
Right.
Tampa just hasn't shown that they can execute.
I agree. All right, we have next the Rams at Arizona.
Now, I know you took Arizona as your team this past week to beat Buffalo is like the guarantee. Arizona's my guarantee this week to beat the Rams.
Yeah.
Coming off of that loss is why.
I agree with you. I mean, as much as they annoyed me this past week, I can't see them losing again especially to the Rams.
Yeah, man. I just don't think the Rams can beat them. I think they match up too well against the Rams. Like Arizona, I think is just the Rams are the kind of team that Arizona can beat, and I think they're. I mean, yeah. I said that right, actually. Yeah, Arizona can beat the Rams. They're the right matchup for them to win. It's in Arizona too, coming off of a tough loss. I think Arizona kind of runs away this game.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Next, we have the Saints at the Chargers.
This is a rough one for me, man. I think this game is rough. San Diego's coming off of a very tough loss to the Colts. The Saints, though, are 0-3 right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to roll the dice, and I'm going to take Breeze and the Saints. Breeze going back to San Diego and ripping them up.
I'm going to go with the Chargers, because both of their losses were like gut-wrenching, close losses that they really should have won.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I just I feel like Breeze and the Saints have something else to prove.
I know,
if you know what I mean.
Saying the pride factor.
Yeah, but hey.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up to me.
I agree with that. All right. Moving along, we have Dallas at San Fran.
Man. I guess I gotta... this is rough. This is a rough game. I'm just going to throw it out, and I'm going to go with... I'm going to take Dallas. I think...
I know, it hurts me to say that, but I agree with you.
I hope I lose this game, but I don't think I am.
Especially with Blaine Gabbert as your starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think I'm going to... I want to lose this game, though. This is where if I can put an X next to this as a loss, I'll be very happy.
Yes. That makes two of us. All right, the Sunday night game, the Chiefs at the Steelers.
Man, I'm taking Pittsburgh. I don't think there's any way they're going to come out and not play like a team that's possessed.
I feel sorry for Kansas City because they are going to get the Steelers' wrath.
Yeah, I think that we both can agree on that one for sure. That
they're going to be like pissed off and they're going to take it out on them.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. And I believe Le'Veon Bell comes back in this game as well.
Yes.
So you're getting a full Steelers offensive wrath.
I'm expecting a big night for Le'Veon Bell.
Yep. I think him and D'Angelo Williams both. I mean, Jamal Charles isn't a definite too, so...
But he's been rumored that he'll play.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to count him as being healthy if he does play. So I think Pittsburgh wins this game by a couple touchdowns.
I agree.
It's in Pittsburgh, too. They tend to play better there. Yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh.
Me too. I'll go with Pittsburgh. And last but not least, another exciting Monday night game, the Giants at Minnesota.
I think Minnesota's undefeated record ends here. I'm going to take the Giants. mainly because I believe the Giants have a good enough offense to beat Minnesota's defense, and the Giants are coming off of a tough division loss. And Minnesota, they haven't exactly cruised to 3-0. You know, it's been a rough-looking 3-0.
Right.
Their defense is due to have a letdown, and I think the Giants, with their passing game, sets up well to beat the Viking secondary, and I think they end up doing it. I think Eli Manning has a good game coming off of that bad interception he threw to cost him that game.
I was going to say this. I'll take Minnesota for the simple fact of I think they could make Eli make mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. I just think Minnesota's due for the loss. I think the Giants.
I know what you mean they're due for a letdown.
Yeah, the Giants want the W. I mean, I'll take a loss on that one. Like I said, the Dallas game, I'll be rooting for me to lose both of those games that I picked. I want Dallas to lose.
The thing is, if Bradford can just not make mistakes, and the Vikings defense maybe force a turnover or two, then they could win this game.
Yeah, they're playing against the right quarterback to force a turnover against.
That's what I mean. Because it's with Eli, it's either all or nothing. Like when he's good, he's very good, but when he's bad, he's terrible.
Yeah, I agree. You're nailing it. But I'm rooting for Minnesota, but I'm picking the Giants. If that makes any sense.
I'll go with the Vikings.
Okay.
All right, that's all of our picks.
That's all of our recap.
Go ahead.
No. I was just saying that's all of our picks, and that's the recap.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here for today.
I'm going to cut you off. Can I throw can I throw my Twitter name out there just in case anybody wants to?
Absolutely.
All right, it's A Geek of Nature on Twitter at A Geek of Nature, AGEEKOFNATURE, A Geek of Nature. And if you listen to this and you have anything you want to say, just chime in. And what's the Twitter for this? It's
at American Sports Connection.
No, that's not the Twitter. that's like Facebook, right? It's
Facebook.com/American Sports Connection.
Yeah.
Sorry, on Twitter it's at AM Sports CONPOD.
Yeah, at AM Sports Con Pod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just look up Sports Connection, American Sports Connection. I'm sure you'll find it on Twitter, but that's our two. I think we need to start dropping them in more at the end of the shows.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but
all right, don't forget everyone to like, comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share, all that good shit, and we will see you back next time. Have a good day, everybody.